The story of Gordon the Big Engine. Starring Gordon, Edward and Rebecca the Happy Engine. Based on the railway series by the Reverend W. Awdry. Created by Britt Allcroft. Read by Mark Murahan. Welcome to the island of Sodor. A small magical island surrounded by sparkling bright blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches, castles to explore and bustling docks where giant cranes lift and load cargo from large ships. There are also lots and lots of railway lines where engines work hard to deliver goods and passengers to their destinations. Today's story is about Gordon, the Big Blue Engine. He is the fastest and most powerful engine on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. Gordon is a proud engine who takes his work very seriously. Gordon is kind, hard-working and loyal to his friends. It was a beautiful summer day on the island of Sodor. Gordon was on his way to pick up some coaches when he saw Edward shunting in the yard. "You watch me, little Edward," called Gordon. "I'm the fastest and best, and I pull the express." And Gordon wheeshed off. A little while later, Edward heard a whistle. Gordon came puffing along, very slowly and very crossly. Instead of his nice shiny express coaches, Gordon was pulling a lot of dirty and very heavy coal cars. "Oh, the indignity!" Gordon grumbled as he passed Edward. Gordon groaned all the way along the main line until he reached the hill. He started to climb up it, but his train was too heavy for him. He tried again and again, but just couldn't get over the hill. Gordon felt extremely embarrassed when Edward arrived to give him a push. Gordon didn't think little Edward would be able to help, but Edward was determined. Edward pushed and puffed and puffed and pushed, and soon Gordon found himself at the top of the hill. "I've done it," he said proudly. Gordon was so excited, he sped down the other side and didn't even think to say thank you to little Edward. As a joke, the other engines called the hill Gordon's Hill. But Gordon was very proud to have a hill named after him and continued to take everything far too seriously. That is, until Rebecca arrived on the island. One day, Rebecca had an accident when she bumped into some food cars. Food flew through the air and landed on Rebecca. She was covered in lettuce, sticky honey and tomato, and she had a carrot stuck on her nose. "Salad, anyone?" Rebecca giggled. "Rebecca, you look hilarious," Thomas laughed, and Gordon laughed too. "Are you okay, Gordon?" asked Thomas. "You're making a very strange noise." Now remember, Gordon was a proud and serious engine. He couldn't let the others see him laughing. "Of course I am," replied Gordon as he hurried away, trying really hard not to laugh. "There's just something wrong with my funnel." Gordon just couldn't stop laughing. But when other engines heard him, he pretended that the strange sounds he was making were problems with his funnel, or his boiler, or his whistle. "I'm a serious engine with a serious job," Gordon told himself. "If Sir Topham Hatt sees me laughing like this, he'll take the express away and give me a silly job." So Gordon decided to go to the steamworks. "I have a terrible case of the giggles," he told Victor. But Victor thought laughing and giggling wasn't a problem at all. And then Sir Topham Hatt arrived. He had heard about the problems with Gordon's boiler, funnel and whistle. "Those aren't really my problems, sir," Gordon giggled. "The problem is I just can't stop laughing." There's nothing wrong with laughing, Gordon. Sir Topham Hatt told him, and Gordon agreed. Well, having a good giggle does feel quite nice, sir. Gordon still takes his work seriously, but he knows that having fun and a good giggle with his friends now and then is not such a silly thing to do. The end.
Henry the Green Engine is very fast and very powerful. He likes everything he does to be just right. But sometimes he worries about things so much that it makes him feel ill. Summer was a very busy time for Henry. There were lots of visitors to take all over the island of Sodor. And he had to pull the flying kipper from the harbor every morning, loaded with fish. Henry was working so hard that things started to go wrong with him. Sir Topham Hatt sent Henry to the works for repair. "You can rest while you're there," he said kindly. But this left Sir Topham Hatt with another problem. Who's going to do Henry's work? Gordon tried, but he found it exhausting to do Henry's work as well as his own. Thomas was too small to take on Henry's jobs. James didn't like the idea of working so hard. It might spoil his shiny red paint. The engines were worried. "There's no one big enough or strong enough to take over Henry's work," said Percy. "We've got to think of something," sighed Thomas. The only engine not fussing or fretting was Edward. He could see the other engines were concerned, and decided it was time to take charge. "I'll take over for Henry, sir," he said quietly. "It might not be easy, but I'll do my best." "Thank you, Edward," he said. "I knew I could rely on you to help out." Edward was as good as his word. He did all of Henry's work without making a fuss. It was hard, but Edward made a good effort. "I can't let Sir Topham Hatt and the other engines down," he puffed to himself. A few days later, Sir Topham Hatt came to see the engines. "Henry is feeling better and ready to come back to work next week." The engines whistled and cheered. "You've all done splendidly in his absence, but Edward has done the best of all. He may not be the fastest or the strongest, but he is a really useful engine." The other engines agreed and gave Edward a special blast of their whistles in appreciation.
Thomas and Friends story time. The story of Diesel, the diesel engine. Starring Diesel and Duck, the Great Western Engine. Based on the railway series by the Reverend W. Awdry. Created by Britt Allcroft. Read by Mark Murahan. Welcome to the island of Sodor, a small magical island surrounded by sparkling bright blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches, castles to explore and bustling docks where giant cranes lift and load cargo from large ships. There are also lots and lots of railway lines where engines work hard to deliver goods and passengers to their destinations. Today's story is about Diesel and the first time he came to work on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. Diesel is a small diesel-electric shunting engine. He doesn't run on coal and water like steam engines. Instead, he uses diesel fuel. He has 6 wheels and is painted black with red buffers. Diesel can be tricky and mischievous, especially when he's trying to prove diesels are better than steamies. He may not always be the nicest engine on Sodor, but Diesel would still like to be really useful. It was a breezy afternoon on the island of Sodor when a mysterious new engine paired smoothly into Knapford Station. No one on Sodor had ever seen an engine like him before. Sir Topham Hatt introduced the new engine to Duck, the Great Western Engine. "Here is Diesel," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I want to see how useful he can be on my railway. Duck, Please show Diesel what to do. Duck thought every engine needed to learn how to do things properly. There are two ways of doing things, he told Diesel. The Great Western Way or the wrong way. But Diesel was sure he had nothing to learn from an old steam engine like Duck. Duck and Diesel headed off to shunt cars. But soon Diesel began to show off. Sir Topham Hatt thinks I need to learn. But we Diesels don't need to learn. We already know everything, he boasted. We come to a yard and we make it better. Diesel and Duck arrived to find the yard full of cars, coaches and flatbeds. If you know everything, said Duck, perhaps you would collect my cars while I fetch Gordon's coaches. Diesel was delighted to have a chance to show off. He didn't need Duck to tell him what to do. Diesel raced away to begin shunting cars. After lots of crashing and bashing, Diesel had collected Duck's cars. But the cars were not happy. They didn't like being bashed and bumped so roughly. They wished Duck had been there to show Diesel how to treat them. Next, Diesel found an untidy row of old empty cars in the corner of the yard. He didn't want to wait for Duck to tell him what to do, so he coupled up to the cars. But the cars had not been used in a long time, and their wheels and brakes were rusty. Diesel tried to push the cars, but they were hard to move. Diesel grumbled crossly, but the brakes on the old cars were stuck. Pull, push, backwards, forwards. Still the cars wouldn't move. We can't, we won't, the cars shouted. Diesel growled even louder. He backed up and bashed the cars as hard as he could. Crash! The old cars clattered and shook, and some of them fell off the tracks. Then Duck arrived and saw what had happened. What are you doing? Duck asked. You weren't supposed to shunt those cars. Diesel looked upset. Why didn't you tell me? He grumbled. I've spent all this time trying to move them. You should have waited for me to show you what to do, said Duck. Poor Diesel had to stay and help sort out the old cars and tidy the mess. He wished he'd listened to Duck and hadn't been such a show-off. So this time, Diesel made sure he asked Duck exactly what to do. And Duck was happy to show him. The next morning, when Sir Topham Hatt saw how tidy the yard was, he did ask Diesel to stay and work on his railway. And although Diesel can still be tricky, he is a really useful engine. The end.